We move on next to the evidence. 15. The plaintiff relies upon the following evidences of some people that have submitted some documents before the court in a publishable court document. 15. The plaintiff relies upon the following evidence. Affidavit of Patrick Mullane, solicitor, sworn 12th of July 2021, exhibiting 2 volumes of materials as indexed and extracted from 13 volumes of material which it is said will be tendered on the primary application. Affidavit of Detective Senior Constable Matthew Reason, sworn 1st of July 2021. A detective in the Fixated Persons Unit. Affidavit of Senior Constable Alexander Clark, sworn 9 July 2021, an officer in the High Risk Terrorist Offenders Unit of the New South Wales Police. 16. The defendant relies upon affidavit of Hayley Lee, solicitor for the defendant, affirmed 20 July 2021. Affidavit of Todd Davis, affirmed 19 July 2021, outlining the role and reach of community treatment orders. Extract from the defendant's OIMS case management records dated 20 March 2020 and 9 April 2020, which makes reference to whether the defendant should be assessed for a concern that he has, in quotes, extremist views with peculiar ideation, close quotes. It is common ground that no assessment occurred. Right off the bat, we can see that the initial claims that brought this Matthew Reason from Fixated Persons Unit of the New South Wales Police into a position of being fixated on the defendant, that it was because of a peculiar ideation of some views that Matthew Reason would believe would be extremist, trying to paint and tar a brush on a body of people as a terrorist organisation. These actions came from the Fixated Persons Unit, which is a branch of the State Protection Squad of the New South Wales Police Force that was then used later in the Jordan incident with Friendly Geordies. The defendant's personal circumstances and the relevant history. The defendant was born in March 1970 and is 51 years of age. He works as a truck driver and at the time of arrest lived with his de facto wife and 2 sons. He has a criminal record involving driving offences in 1997 and a destroy and damage property in 2014. He came to police attention in September 2019 in the context of an assault charge involving a neighbour. His behaviour at Picton Local Court in October 2019 was odd in that he denied that he was the named defendant and asserted the arresting police were, by arresting him, committing crimes that should be tried in The Hague. The magistrate determined that if he, Mr. Kiskonen, was not in fact the defendant, then the person who was the defendant needed to be arrested, and that led to a warrant being issued. The defendant was duly arrested at court and proceedings continued. He failed to appear on the 29th of October 2019, leading to other charges. That's something that needs to be investigated as to the actions of the New South Wales Police in their fixation before the charges came about? What actions did you create that led to those charges? And would they be criminal on your part if they were reenacted today? 18. All of this led to his coming under the observation of the New South Wales Police Fixated Persons Unit, which, having observed him for a period, concluded via Detective Senior Constable Gatwood in December 2019 that he was not a threat at the time. All of this questioning the line of authority that a magistrate might have in a courtroom given certain circumstances that Matthew Reason believes are American in nature but are actually under the blessing of Almighty God as defined in the preamble to the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act July 1900. Maybe you should go read those words, Matthew. 19. However, concerns about him continued, and he was observed during both 2019 and 2020. Detective Senior Constable Reason, in his affidavit, sets out the bases upon which he holds concerns about the defendant as a member of the United Kingdom of Australia. What we can see here is that a man who challenged the court over what a person was at law was then fixated upon by fixated police named Fixated Persons Unit, and from that moment forward attempted to turn an organisation of faith into a terrorist organisation on purpose and with malice. It's very evident, and we haven't even got into the case yet. That's to me unbelievable that this would be so evident, and we're only at clause 18 of this document. Clause 19 then starts on this Detective Senior Constable Matthew Reason's affidavit that has been submitted, at which several paragraphs are then referred to. And we'll go into those paragraphs in detail as we go through this, because we're going to be able to demonstrate something very, very, very hard for a lot of these people to swallow. And that's the unfortunate truth in the matter.